Your Weather Authority forecast with Josh Rugger, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
Well, impacts are expected across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley from winter weather as we move throughout your Thursday into Friday. You can see moderate impacts expected south of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel, including I-40 as we move throughout Thursday night into Friday. Minor impacts for the rest of northwest Arkansas, but regardless, you need to make sure you're staying weather aware and likely stay off the roadways as we move throughout Thursday night into Friday because things could get a little bit dicey out there. Of course, we do have a winter storm warning in effect for Logan and Scott County. That goes from 12 p.m. tomorrow through 6 o'clock on Friday. Winter storm watch remains in effect in and around the Fort Smith area. That goes from noon tomorrow till noon on Friday. And while northwest Arkansas is not included in any winter weather headlines right now, that will change as we move throughout the rest of the day today. But satellite radar is quiet, mostly sunny skies expected today. Really the last full day you have to prepare for winter weather because starting tomorrow afternoon, those road conditions will start to deteriorate. High pressure firmly in control over the midsection of the country, but look at all that energy that's located over the Baja region of Mexico. This system going to be sliding off to the north and east and impact our weather as we move throughout the next 36 to 48 hours. Of course, still trying to fine tune the timing and the track of this system because if it deviates about 50 to 100 miles to the north or south, that could play a huge role on our weather here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Now, the European model continues to show a slightly southerly track, so that means less snowfall for northwest Arkansas. We would still see some flakes along and north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel, but the most significant impacts would remain off to the south and east. Of course, that would also mean a quicker moving system. So if the European model wins out, most of that snow will be pushing off to the east of the area by around 10 to 11 o'clock on Friday. That's one model's depiction of what could go down. The GFS model also showing snow over the entire weather coverage area, but a little bit slower with the progression of the system. That's because it's a little bit farther to the north, so that allows for that moderate to heavy snow to envelop northwest Arkansas in addition to the River Valley, and that would uptrend those snowfall totals a little bit more as snow hangs around into early Friday afternoon. So that is a trend we're watching very closely with the GFS model. Of course, we're also starting to get those high resolution models in. This should be a brand new model run from the HRRR. So you can see some light snow showers moving into the River Valley right around 8 to 9 o'clock. Those shouldn't cause a whole lot of impacts, but notice as that snow lifts off to the north, it starts to increase in the intensity. And this is a trend that I'm going to have to watch very closely because this is the new HRRR, and it looks like the model is taking this system a little bit farther to the north, so you can see some patches of moderate snowfall showing up in northwest Arkansas as well. So maybe an uptrend from this particular model. This is something we're going to be watching very, very closely in the Weather Lab and letting you know about the latest details as that information continues to come in. But every single model showing snow in some form or fashion, every single model also has the swath of heaviest snowfall south of the Interstate 40 corridor. Of course, some models have a little bit more snow than others, so we're going to be fine-tuning these and letting you know about the latest details as we get closer and closer to the event. But our official snowfall forecast has about 1 to 2 inches of snow in far northwestern Arkansas and southwest Missouri, so that does include western portions of Bella Vista. 2 to 4 inches of snow for the rest of northwest Arkansas. Again, the farther north and west you go, the more likely you are to run into 2 inches, and vice versa as you get a little bit farther south and east. Benton, Washington, Madison, Carroll County included in those 2 to 4 inch snowfall totals. A little bit farther to the south, Fort Smith included in that 2 to 4 inch total as well, but I lean more towards 4 inches there. A little bit farther to the south towards Boonville and Waldron, you're seeing about 4 to 6 inches with maybe some locally higher amounts possible in southern LaFleur and Scott County. Would not be surprised if a location or two got 6 to 8 inches of snow in those locations. So make sure you're preparing now. 70% chance of snow Thursday into Friday. High temperatures right around freezing over the next couple of days. Thankfully, this cold spell that we've been in for the last several days will finally loosen its grip just a little bit. Highs in the lower 40s for the early part of next week with overnight lows in the teens and 20s. River Valley, 90% chance of snow on your Thursday and Friday. High temperatures hovering in the middle 30s. Middle 40s possible for the early part of next week with maybe some swimsuit weather possible in the River Valley as we go throughout Monday into Tuesday. I mean, compared to what we've seen over the last few days, that's basically the sauna at this point.
45 degrees, just enjoy it.
I know, right? Yeah, get the sunglasses out, get the sunscreen on, get a nice little suntan out there. I don't know. Do what you got to do because, my goodness, the last few days have been brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll only get worse. So.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're still early on in the winter, so there's plenty more cold spells where this came.
That is true.